Hello, happy Sunday evening. It is Shannon. I am working on I'm working on finishing this the end of this silk scarf that I bought yesterday. So I showed the reference book last evening. I'll grab that. So this is where it outlines how to roll and whip, which is just a hand sewing finishing technique that I wanted to leverage to finish the end of this scarf. It has been a long time since I've done this in depth, and so I'm not really astute at it. It's not muscle memory at this point, but I'm making do, or I'm getting it figured out. So I worked on it last night, and here is this end. So I did across the entire, and this is not great. This is, I've got to figure out it. When you roll this or roll and whip, what you're doing is you're essentially rolling it on itself, and you're doing a little whip stitch, hence the name. But it does tend to go on the bias. And so when I got at this end, this sort of tail came out. So I'll probably just fold that over maybe and whip that around and finish it. It won't really matter probably, but it's annoying me. So I probably need to take some time and figure out how to finish that more elegantly. Same with this starting point here. I don't really love how this looks. So I will have to, do something. But anyway, I just wanted to share how this works in case anybody's interested. So what she advises in the book is using your needle to roll this over. I find that it really works well if I just sort of lick my fingers and get a little bit of tension on that, and then you just roll it and roll it on itself so that it's finished. And then you put your needle in about 1/8 of an inch is what she suggested, away from the current stitch at a 45-degree angle. It does tend to catch on itself a little bit till I get sort of going. Then you can eventually get into a little bit of a rhythm. But every time I set it down for a little bit and then pick it back up, it does tend to be a little complicated to get it going again. But essentially, you just keep that little edge rolled and hold it. I found that it's better if I hold it with my left hand and sort of put my middle finger behind the roll to give it some substance to hold on to, because that's what's so tricky about the thing is it's so lightweight and flimsy that you don't really have that much to hold on to. And then every once in a while, I'll just pull that up a little bit snug, and it does tend to gather it a little bit, and then I sort of straighten it back out. And that seems to be working relatively well. So the goal here is that to put your needle through this roll and out the top. You're not supposed to catch the back side of the fabric. I am not doing it perfectly by any stretch of the imagination, but it's going, and I think it will be a lovely thing to have once I'm all done. And I really like doing handwork, whether that's needlepoint or knitting, or even just sewing binding on a quilt, for example, is something that I really find peaceful. And I like things that I don't have to think about too much. Just get your hands busy and just enjoy the process. A lot of times, like earlier today, I was up here working on my terrible needlepoint disaster. I think I've talked about it before, but I've got some old needlepoint pieces that I've ruined, and I've been trying to figure out how to try to salvage them. Anyway, that was not particularly peaceful, but I just sat up here I just poked my thumb. That happens. I sat up here for a couple of hours probably working on that, and didn't have the TV on or anything. It's nice to just sit and let your brain rest a little bit, let your ears rest. I've got a lot that I'm thinking about around work and family and I don't know what, just about anything and everything. It's just nice to keep your hands busy and give your brain some time to think quietly about whatever is concerning you or what you're wanting to think about. And I just find it therapeutic. So with that, I might just stop talking and yammering at you a little bit and just sew for a few minutes in case you might find that peaceful to just watch some sewing and not have to do it. So I'll give you a few minutes of peace and quiet, and then we'll call it a day. Thanks for coming along.